And happy Saturday, my friends. On It's 12:25 p.m. on September 7th, 2024. 1924. I'm sorry, the coffee hasn't kicked in yet. I didn't get much sleep again last night. Woke up several times. Was woken up by someone knocking my door at 1:30, who was asking to come in, please. I did not let her in. She was coming before, but she's been prowling around the apartment. I'm not sure the building. I'm not sure if she lives here. I was not going to let anyone in at 1:30 in the morning. I have no food, only have limited money. I saved 2 beers for today in my can collection yesterday. So I was not going to let anyone in at 1:30 in the morning, even though she said please to come in. Nope. And she kept knocking my door for 2 minutes after. No, 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 no. So that brings up a point about my previous live stream about being kind and helping others and supporting each other. So today I want to talk about setting boundaries. It's very important to help each other, be kind to each other, and so forth. But you have to set boundaries as well. Being too kind can make you vulnerable to being taken advantage of too. So this visitor at 1:30 in the morning knocked on my door asking to let in. I told her I was sleeping. Nope. Even though she kept knocking for another 2 minutes after, I just ignored her. She left. But you have to set boundaries. Because next thing you know, people will try and take advantage of you and bugging you all the time. So my example last night was to tell her I'm sleeping. And even though she kept knocking for 2 minutes after, she did eventually leave. So being too kind and being too nice, I would have let her in. Made that bad mistake before, and things can happen. You never know what can happen. Violence can be inflicted upon you. Someone could try to harass you for money or something. And I have limited means. I collect cans and so forth and bottles just to survive day by day. So, yeah, setting boundaries is very important in any kind of situation or relationships, especially. So, it's very important. So, my previous stream about being kind, supporting each other, you also have to set boundaries and draw the line, when it comes to your personal space, when it comes to your own self care, and so forth. For instance, do not knock on someone's door, you know, at 1:30 in the morning when I was trying to fall asleep. There was nothing I could have given her except I have some tuna. That's about it. I have cat food. I don't know what she wanted. She eventually left, but anyways, I should reestablish what I said about supporting each other and being kind to each other. You also have to set boundaries as well. Because if you don't, you can be victimized, targeted, and this is how home invasions can start as well. Being too kind, letting people in, and then they end up never leaving, keep coming and coming, harassing you. And this is another example how home invasions can start as well. So yeah, setting boundaries is very important. Being kind is one thing and supporting each other is one thing, but you have to set boundaries. You cannot just blindly let people in because that's how things and bad home invasions can start. Maybe they might try to be assaultive toward you. Maybe they might, God knows what may happen. Not saying that it will happen, but it can happen. And you have to take care of yourself first. That's the main thing that counts. So yeah, I just want to follow up from the previous stream. I guess she's a YouTube fan too, or I don't know. She looked familiar. She looked like that same girl who was here last time. But yeah, you have to set boundaries. Being kind and supporting each other is one thing, but setting boundaries is very important. Yeah. Because you never know these days, especially here in the hood. There's a lot of criminals out there, home invaders, drug trafficking, prostitution, human trafficking, and so forth, predators, people trying to set you up. You never know. Not that all like that. There are good people out there, but you have to set boundaries, be careful, and balance the two together. That's the main thing that counts. Look after yourself is the main thing that counts. So yeah, and keep your eyes peeled. Um, Never turn your back on anybody as you leave your apartment. If you have somebody or a group of people in your apartment and you decide to leave together, always leave behind them. Do not leave in front of them. Because that's another thing that happened one time years ago. Two people in my apartment came in the morning. I let them in, went over to this other person's place, two of them behind me. One of them put my stove on purpose because I just woke up. I didn't have to do anything. So one of them tried to set my place on fire. There's a pot there. One of them tried to put the burner on. I learned that way. Never go in front of them. Go behind these people. They can grab stuff, steal from you. They can do what these two idiots did. Try to turn my stove on. Thank God the fire alarm was working. The other two neighbors alerted us. So yeah, never go in front of a group of people when you leave your place. Besides stealing, they could do something like, who knows? Always leave behind them. If you do happen to invite anyone in your place, always watch them. There's more than one, that's the extra thing you have to be careful of. You never know. They can overpower you or God knows what. Unless you specifically really know them, that's another story. But setting boundaries and keeping safe is the main thing that counts. And I want to talk about home invasions as well. That's another thing that's very common, it seems like. I had a few attempts happen to me, actually. They refused to leave and they were doing drugs in here. And I said, do not do drugs in here. This was years ago. Before COVID even. Was it before COVID? No, it was a couple years ago. And then they were the same ones who were home invaders of one of my exes who got evicted because he associated with the wrong people. And I told him to stay away from them. Anyways, they victimized me and they tried to stay here all night. They refused to leave. They didn't know that someone was waiting outside at 8 a.m. in the morning until bang, bang, bang. They left so fast. They didn't expect that. Thank God that community member, professional, was outside the door listening and then knocked loudly at the door. You never seen them jump and take off so fast. They never came back again. But yeah, the best thing is prevention of home invasions. That's another thing. You got to be careful. Set boundaries is the number one priority. That's the main thing. Speaking of setting boundaries, there was someone else also who threw something at my window the other day too. I looked out, peeked out. I did not recognize this person. So I just closed the window again. The lobby screen was not working to buzz in. Whoever that person was, I did not recognize. And I'm like, oh, no way, no way. So I don't know. It seems like, I don't know what's going on, but it seems like people are targeting me for some reason. I don't know. And it's from probably an enemy or someone who threatened to stop me or is trying to set things up. Who knows? It could be one of these bad people. I don't know. Just coincidence. Maybe they do something in the wrong window. I don't know. And someone jiggled keys on my door just a few days ago again, but I think it was a neighbor upstairs because I heard, I changed my locks too. So yeah, that must have been the neighbor who did that before too by mistake. It happens. So anyways, I won't comment too much about that. So yeah, that's the main thing I want to talk about, setting boundaries. Because if you don't set boundaries, you can get yourself into a lot of trouble. Robberies, people setting you up, home invasions, God knows what, harassment, and it can escalate. So learn to put your foot down. Say no where you have to say no. It's good to be kind to each other and help each other out, but you have to set boundaries and so forth. Do not let people manipulate you into saying after, I helped you out with this and you owe me this. That's one of the other things too, especially when you have limited means. That's another thing. And what else? They could steal from you, especially there's two of them. One can distract you and one can go over and grab some stuff from your apartment. They'll smile on your face when you're talking to one. The other one can grab something from your cupboard or grab something here and there. So that's another thing to be very careful of. And so forth. So the girl, that person actually eventually left after 2 minutes, knocking on my door at 1:30 in the morning. I could not sleep at 2:30. I was still drinking the beer in my fridge that I'm having now this afternoon. Well, just to take it easy in a rainy day like this. But yeah, very important to set up boundaries. Learn to say no. Never leave your permit in front of them. Leave behind them to make sure they don't take anything. If you don't know them, you gotta be careful because they can work together. One distract you, one take stuff from your apartment, and God knows what. That's about it. Saying boundaries is very important. Take care and make witch, and we'll talk again soon. But remember, still be kind, but set boundaries and be aware of your surroundings. Make witch.